Next Gen Tech Talks podcast, where we share insights and tips from the best in business.
Today we have a very special guest with me. He is Saumitra Nanda. He is Principal Program Manager and in Power Pages. So let's discuss and let's hear from him as he is the Principal PM Manager. So he will share a lot of insights on Power Pages and what's coming on Power Pages point of view. And basically he oversees a lot of new innovative and impactful project within Microsoft, within Power Pages. And Soumitra, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Goloknath, for inviting me. I'm excited to talk to you about Power Pages and share our vision with you and your audience.
Thanks. Thank you so much. Okay, let's start on this discussion in this note. As we hear, Microsoft is keep investing on AI, and Microsoft is keep investing on, now it's a buzzword, Microsoft agents. Everywhere we see agents. Previously we see Copilot, now it is agents. So what's the thought all about the Power Pages, agents in Power Pages? What's coming up on agents in Power Pages? Maybe you want to throw some lights on this.
Sure. So yeah, thank you for this question. And like you already know, and your audience would know that AI has been one of the key strategic investment areas for Microsoft. You would have heard our leadership talk a lot about Copilot earlier. Now we have evolved to Copilot plus agents. So essentially, just for clarification, agents are AI features which can be triggered directly based on certain criteria. They can take some decision on your behalf on their own based on the instruction set that you pass to them. And they can also take some actions with the help of connectors that are there in Copilot Studio, especially if you talk about the Microsoft context. And then the other important part of agents is they maintain a history of their run, so you know exactly what they did for you. And they can also share some knowledge, just like Copilots. So it's an enhancement on top of Copilot in a way. Now, why is it important? It's important because in the Power Pages context as well, because earlier Power Pages and what we have seen our customers do is create Power Pages for multiple kinds of business scenarios. It could be like very specific applications, for example, gathering some information through a form, or it could be an end-to-end business process where you have multiple forms for an application processing, like visa processing, for example. So all of this can be automated using agents. You can reach multiple your customers through multiple channels because agents can be available theoretically in many channels. And this space is evolving, obviously. Not everything would be available on day one, but there is a lot of potential in this. And that's why Power Pages also wants to create a native integration with Copilot Studio, have this agentic capability available. We are in fact working on a roadmap for this. We'll be publishing the exact release days timelines, but safe to say that agents is going to be a space where you can not only leverage Copilot Studio much more in Power Pages, develop your business flows on top of it, automate and get the benefit of the agents and AI in your business process. Not only bringing in delight to your customers, but also a lot of time savings because some of the processes which were manual earlier can be automated.
That's true, and it's really amazing actually. All these things adding up the extra capability, and to be very honest, it is really making simpler and user journey and how they faces specifically the public face websites or web pages, what we say. Yeah, that's really helpful. And in that note, I just want to move towards, because we discuss about the agents and AIs. And whenever there is an AI, the people have always a thought process, what about the security? And there are a lot of buzzwords it's coming around. What is the responsibleness? What is the security? So what is your thoughts on this security in Power Pages in that note?
That is a great question. In fact, Power Pages is known for its secure model, the security model that it offers out of the box, and the security posture that your site can gain easy quickly if you develop on Power Pages. So we have a robust authentication and authorization layer, and the same gets applied to any AI feature that we ship. And I'll just make a quick list of all the things that we have done so far. We have released a site copilot. We have released the intelligent forms, which is basically you get AI assistance on your forms. We have released a list with AI summary. We have released a search with AI summary. We have released an API where you can summarize any record with the API. So all of these features, they respect the authentication authorization model of Power Pages, which means that if you want the AI to access the data for a particular user, the user's context will be passed, and so anybody cannot access that data or cannot exploit AI to get access to the user's data. So that is going to be within the boundary of that particular user's login. So inherently, any feature that we are releasing are secure and completely bound to Power Pages authentication and authorization model. As far as data privacy is concerned, Microsoft takes care of data privacy of our users. And so we do not, in most cases, we do not even store any prompts or the files, for example, that you process in the forms. We don't even store that. We destroy it as soon as we get the information from it. So the users can be secure, like safe and secure, that their data is not being misused to train a model or or shared with any other user. The Azure OpenAI instance that is used to process, it is for the particular customer. So whatever data is there, it is going to be retained within your tenant. So it is not going to be used for any other tenant or cross customers or across tenants. So you can be secure about that as well. Then about the accuracy part, yes, that is a evolving story. As the models improve, accuracy is going to improve even further. If you look at it today, it's like right now we haven't really encountered a place where we have seen customer feedback that the data that they're getting or response that they're getting is highly inaccurate. We have not seen that. But like we are open to feedback and we understand that the models are evolving, and as they evolve further, we are going to get better and better response from the AI models.
That's true actually. Anyways, AI models are getting trained and over the period it will be enhancing. That's agree. Okay, so then we understand regarding the agent's capability and we understand the security part of it, because AI and security are at like more closely related. And now I'm coming towards the experience part, because to be very honest, when I'm checking with a few customers, they always highlight, okay, Power Pages is a framework driven architecture. So basically, whenever they want to build any public websites, it's always to follow certain framework. And literally, if they want to customize up to the extent, basically, they really want that extent. It's currently not have that capability. They say it is always a framework driven architecture and other things. Have its own boundary of operation. So maybe you want to give some thoughts on this and how they can go for maximum utilization of Power Pages. Any thoughts?
Sure. Again, a great question. Power Pages has its own kind of benefits right now. There are some limitations. I will acknowledge that. There is customer feedback, just like you mentioned, and we are actively working on identifying the most important ones and trying to resolve them along with our AI journey, because both are equally important. We know that customers face issues, some issues while using Power Pages, and we definitely don't want them to do that in the long term. So what are the benefits of Power Pages? So first of all, like governance and security, like most of our, like many of our customers, I wouldn't say all of our customers, but many of our customers are enterprise customers. They want a certain level of security and observability to be present for their admins to feel secure that whoever is developing in their tenant, that data doesn't get leaked. So if you observe over the last, let's say 1 to 2 years, we have released multiple data loss prevention settings. For example, anonymous data access, you can control who can publish tables on your website and who can really see them. Then the second thing we have recently done is authentication providers. So you can enforce that every time a site is created, you need to have an authenticated site. So such kind of settings gives confidence to admins to allow their developers to come in and create on Power Pages. The other part is about the studio part. So obviously you can directly go in and create on Azure, you can create websites. But with the studio, you get a way to, at least for the simpler sites right now, you can quickly create them without having to code each and every line. I acknowledge again that there are some limitations and we are actively working on mitigating those right now. We will continue to invest in the studio. We'll bring in more AI, of course. That's one way to improve the productivity of makers. Like, for example, we have the natural language to site creation flow, which is basically you give a prompt and then the site can be get created for you. We'll evolve that experience. We are bringing in more experiences around that. Like maybe you can use a design file to create a site directly. So
Yeah.
such things we are going to invest in. There are co-pilots existing today. We are going to keep enhancing them, make them more in context. Maybe there will be some agents that will show up in the future there as well, which can help you in create the sites. That's one way. The other way is there are limitations around the site where you cannot use PCF controls easily within web pages. We are thinking about how to enable them quickly. So your library of components available to you quickly expands. Whatever we provide out of the
Yeah,
box,
exactly.
plus PCF components. You can definitely bring your own components as well. We support it at our runtime, so you don't have to face that issue. But we will also think about how to make it more seamless for the makers there. Our ProDev tooling, it is now nicely integrated with the studio, so we can quickly move from a component to VS Code and then add code there. We'll keep improving that. We'll invest there as well. We have a Copilot there as well, which can generate code for you. But we'll bring more Power Pages specific investments there, where you can parse the data entity and maybe add something specific to Power Pages data model there easily. So those are kind of things we are thinking about. That will really amp up the developer productivity. So whatever you could achieve maybe in 1 month, you can probably do it in a week. So that is our vision, that make it more easier for both low code makers and professional developers to create websites which are secure and with the confidence of your administrators and your managers in your organization. That is our
Yeah.
vision.
Okay. I think that's really makes sense. And those, just for the people, those who say Power Pages cannot be used for the customization or some kind of the extent they look towards. As we hear, it is already added the capabilities integration with Visual Studio Code, and you can extend the code and you can do your part. But it has added additional extension of the customization, what you are really looking, but may not be 100%, which is still on the roadmap and it is coming subsequently. That's what is the understanding in the summary point of view. Okay, in that note, I just remember there was one discussion is happening with one of the customer. They say, actually, I will say it's not customer, it's a casual discussion with one person who is into the tech industry, saying nowadays there are different, there are different websites are there. They are giving like AI immediately. They are helping to build the websites, and they are also giving that kind of capability. Then in that contrary, why Power Pages? Basically, the question comes to what is the USP of Power Pages? I understand one is security is there, that's for sure. And what else? What is your thoughts actually on this regarding why Power Pages?
Yeah, so security governance, like you mentioned, that is one of the key points. The other things that you can think of is the integration with Copilot Studio. So right now, we spoke about agents in the beginning, right? We do not know how this space is going to evolve. We feel websites are the go-to place now to get information to external users, but it will evolve. Like the way we see a websites today, will they change in some dimension in the future, maybe in 2, 3 years? We do not know. That is where the whole integration with the Microsoft ecosystem comes in. So with Power Automate, with Copilot Studio, that integration really empowers you in Power Pages, where you can not only like create websites quickly, but also have that business logic layer, have that AI layer, which houses the business logic to do multiple things for you. If you hear our leaders as well, they think that in the future, the business logic layer across different lines of business that is going to lie in the AI layer, and you wouldn't need those siloed applications for different business needs in a different business systems. Everything is going to come to that one AI layer. So that is where we have a we have a USP compared to other competitors where we can tap into our ecosystem and then give you that really out of the box in a secure fashion as well. And you don't have to worry about integrating with third-party systems and things like that, which is really going to be the USP in the future. And like I also mentioned, our studio may not be as evolved as some of the others, but we are continuing to invest there. And we also have a small team, and we have to prioritize and make sure that we are giving customers what they really need at this point. And we have a variety of customers. We have large businesses, we have small businesses, we have individual developers, everybody working on Power Pages. And we want to make sure everybody gets something what they need immediately. So we have to prioritize and balance, but we are evolving and we are making sure we are evolving in the right path and putting thought into what all things would work in the future as well.
Yep, yep. Okay, I think I agree what you mentioned, because see, whatever things are there, the USP point of view, security is there always. Microsoft ecosystem, seamless integration, that's always there. And last but not the least, it's a trust. Basically, what I believe, the trust the Microsoft has on Power Pages in comparison to whatever the applications are providing, even easiest website building and other things. There are a lot of makers came into the picture, but definitely there is a Microsoft trust is there, and that is one of the additional factor which will add into that, along with security, along with the seamless integration with the tech stacks. Okay, in that note, I will say, anyways, from as I based out of Singapore, I am looking towards the go local point of view. Go local capability is currently data residency part. It's not done, so few customers still looking towards that. Once it is done, I think it will be really helpful for them also to tap on to different ecosystems, basically looking into the data residency in Power Pages. In that note, I just want to move towards maybe one, two personal questions.
Sure.
So this is I keep as part of ritual just to discuss few casual questions. Basically, Soumitra, how is your day in a life? It's a standard question I ask everyone.
Yeah. Um, so my day really varies, but there are certain themes I can talk about. So I generally have to go to a lot of meetings just to align across stakeholders. And when I say stakeholders, it could be our development team, our design team. We have partner teams as well. We have customers, and we have partners, and we have our implementation team, field teams. So meeting each one of them, each one has their own point of view in the sense that development team needs certain things from you in terms of guidance to continue on the product. Similarly, partner teams, I think, would have their point of view in terms of what they need to really be successful with Power Pages. Field teams will have feedback from the customer. Customers have their direct feedback. And a design team, we have to work together to come up with the right designs for the product. So my kind of day revolves around this. Sometimes there are, of course, leadership meetings. You have to work with them as well, get their direction, make them understand how we are progressing. So those things also come into play. So my day typically revolves around these stakeholders, and every day is different. But I do enjoy, especially talking to customers. There are like strong feedback sometimes around how we are not able to do something or prioritize something. In other cases, customers are really happy and they do share their success stories, how they have used Power Pages to achieve a lot in their business or their workflow. So I enjoy both sides of it.
Okay, okay. Anyways, I asked you day in a life, and you, I will say you rightly articulated it towards your official life in a day. Okay. Anyways.
So my work days kind of revolve around my office. Weekends, of course, it's more personal. Yeah.
Understand. Anyways, the next question exactly on that, how you manage your personal and professional life.
Yeah, again, good question. The thing is, it's difficult to balance because we have to work with folks across time zones. So there are needs there, and then there is personal life. Also, there are some demands. So we have to prioritize. I think that's the best thing. Or you have to have your own internal framework, I guess, to balance. some things you have to take a call, some things you have to delegate, some things you have to take help from your peers and manager to manage. So that is the best you can do, really. Like life is all about that, managing expectations of different people, managing expectations of your customers, yes, and your peers. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Anyways, thank you so much, Saumitra, for accepting this invitation and really sharing a lot of insights on Power Pages and what are the different aspects, what's coming up next, and why, how, when, and how the things are coming up next into the Power Pages space. In that note, I will say thank you everyone for listening the podcast, and thanks, Saumitra.
Thank you, Golaknath. I just have one short message for the viewers. If you have any feedback on Power Pages, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I'm available in LinkedIn. Please reach out to me. I'm more than happy to lend a ear. I'm also happy to meet our customers.
Thank you for listening. Looking forward to see you on a new topic. Till then, bye bye.